So you've watched Blue Valentine either recently or a while ago, and you were heartbroken by that ending. Well, so was I. And so was any normal human being after watching that. But don't you worry. I'll tell you today why that ending was wrong and what the real ending should have been. But first, let me give you a little summary of the story and remind you of that heartbreaking ending. Apologies in advance. Blue Valentine portrays the relationship of a once beautiful couple, filled with youth and passion for the world, but most importantly each other. Ryan Gosling's character works with a moving company when they first meet. He's unsure about his future and is still finding himself. While Michelle Williams' character is a med student that is having relationship problems of her own. Not a match made in heaven, but they seem to be. That is, until they don't. And that's what the movie portrays so perfectly, but also so depressingly. The extinguishing love of both characters and how time has taken its toll on their relationship. And while passion carried the relationship for so long, this passion has now faded, and all that's left now is misery and their sheer inability to communicate. The ending scene is truly a work of art, as the movie ends with a shot of Ryan Gosling walking away with some fireworks in the background. Fireworks symbolizing their relationship, burning so brightly and so quickly, yet fading away just as suddenly. I told you this was some poetic, heartbreaking stuff. Now, why is the ending bad? It's just a sad ending, but it's completely justified, right? Well, no. Let me tell you why. This movie does so well in showing us the contrast between the beginning of the relationship and their current situation. Life happens is the central theme of this transformation, and of course, the victim is the love of Cindy and Dean. The movie approaches this theme from a side of powerlessness, as if the characters that were once enamored with each other are now unable to imagine a life together, and there's nothing they can do about it. And this sense of powerlessness is even more magnified, as the movie never tells us how the relationship got there, and we're completely left in the dark as we don't know what happened in those middle years. So all we can do is watch this misery and make assumptions on what happened, which I did, naturally, and it just boils down to lack of communication. Their communication throughout the movie is null and void, and they are never able to express their true thoughts and emotions to each other. This causes their pent-up stress and anger, and like fireworks, they explode. So you see, the problem is not as complicated as the movie makes it seem. The movie should have focused on the importance of communication, instead of further romanticizing the idea of dying love and our inability to do anything about this phenomenon. So to be more specific, the two main characters should have had a sit-down where they have a complete heart-to-heart. Lay it all on the table, all the baggage and everything. This will have both characters come to the realization that they haven't been looking outside of themselves for so long, and they will grow sympathetic for each other, and like that, their love will be reborn. But not just that. Ryan Gosling's character, having had that conversation, will realize that he needs to stop being lazy and work and take care of himself. On the other hand, Michelle Williams' character will take down that wall that stands between them, as she will come to understand Gosling's shortcomings and remember that he did sacrifice his future and his dreams to raise a child that wasn't his own because he loved her. And that will remind her why she loved him and increase her affection towards him. And at the end, to top it all off, we have a scene where they renew their marriage vows, with their child bringing flowers. And just like that, the ending is completely perfect. So yeah, how about that for an ending? I know I'm living in dreamland and it is idealistic, but what is cinema if not a medium of hope and inspiration? I think the message of not giving up on what matters is important. In this case, it's love. And if you're not going to fight for it, then what's the point? Especially if the love is clearly there, but it's just buried under this guise of miscommunication. Anyways, this is my ending. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.